Guys, welcome back. This is the TBR Diaries, episode 21. And today we are going to finish up the third shelf of the first bookcase. Yay! For those just joining us, this is a little series where I can't talk today, where I am going through all of the physical books all the books on my physical TBR. Oh, it's going to be a fun video. I'm already struggling with words. Um, I currently have two 5 shelf bookcases that are full, and I'm starting on the first shelf of the third bookcase. So those are all. So I have just over somewhere over 200 physical books waiting to be read. Yeah, so it's gotten a little out of control, and I kind of wanted to go through them and see what I've got and try to reprioritize things. And I wanted to share with y'all as I did this and get your feedback because I appreciate what y'all have to say about all these different books. I like hearing people's opinions and thoughts and, what they've read and what they haven't read. Reading is subjective, and, I love hearing what you got out of the book versus what I got out of the book. I love it. Anyway, so let's get started with finishing the third shelf. So the first book that I want to talk about is The Spell Shop. And this is by Sarah Beth Durst. And it's pretty. It's got some sprayed edges. I don't know. Yeah, the book itself is the naked book is kind of plain. But this is one that I definitely saw all over Book Talk. And most people, I think, seem to really enjoy it and like it. I think I saw 1 or 2 reviews that were like, wasn't for me. But for the most part, people seem to like it. It sounds like a really cute story. We've got our FMC, who is, I think, a librarian or works at a library, but basically is preserving magical tomes for the wealthy and elite. And then something happens, the library catches on fire or burns down or something, I don't know. She grabs what she can and she escapes, and she goes to this remote island, which is where she used to live, and ends up opening kind of an illegal spell shop. Yeah. So I don't know if there's a romance aspect to this. It sounds like there might be a little romance aspect to it. But it sounds cute. It sounds like a little fantasy rom-com almost. I don't know. So it just sounded appealing, and yeah, I keep meaning to get around to it. And I don't know if it's a sequel or if it's just kind of like a book in the same world, but I think the next one, The Enchanted Greenhouse, is coming out soon. So yeah. So The Spell Shop, that's the first book. The next book that I want to talk about is TJ Klune, Under the Whispering Door. It says death is only their beginning. Huh. So I haven't read any TJ Klune books. This is the only one I have, and so I assume it's going to be the first one that I read. I've heard good things about the author. Most people tend to rave about their books. This one sounds interesting. It looks like it's going to deal with death and accepting death. And that's really all I know about it. Yeah, I think I'm going to do a buddy read of this one with one of my friends, Tiffany. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I'm looking forward to it. Okay. Then the last book on the third shelf that I would like to talk about is a book that I'm actually really excited to read when I get to it, because I think it sounds really cool. But not to mention, I think I love the cover. The cover of this book is just gorgeous. But it's kind of a horror romance story. And this is Together We Rot. And that is by Skyla Arndt. Arndt. I don't know how to say that. But yeah, it kind of sounds like a horror with a little bit of romance, or at least a thriller with maybe a little bit of romance. But you've got a young girl who I guess is digging into her mother's death or her mother's disappearance. Her mother's disappearance. And she and her dad are just trying to make ends meet. And then we have our MMC, and I do think this is YA. I don't think this is so I'm not anticipating any spice or anything like that, because I do think this is kind of a YA thriller / horror romance. But then we have our MMC, who is trying to basically get away from his family because his dad is a pastor for this cult. It's a cult. And he's been grooming his son. He told him to take it over, but he finds out that it's actually to sacrifice him. And then there's a monster in here somewhere. So I'm it just sounds really cool. The cover art is beautiful, and I really do want to get to this book this year. This was one I got in, not this latest one, but a few times ago, Book Outlet's $5.99 sale. So I'm super stoked about this one. But yeah, those are the last 3 books on the third shelf. Let me know down in the comments if you've read any of them or what you thought. Like I said, I always value your guys' feedback. So let me know.